Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to WhatsMap, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Right, it's Friday. Friday's the day of the week. We turn to the BonBon buddies over on Patreon and say, hey guys, vote us in a map, and they've gone with this one. Now, this week has been, it's been an okay week in terms of maps. We've had plenty of okay maps that have all been lacking a little bit in detailing, but nothing disastrous. In fact, they've all scored exactly the same score on my ratings, a 3 for aesthetics, a 2 for detail, and a 3 for gameplay potential. If we get another one of those today, it'll be setting all kinds of records. We've already broken the record. So, fingers crossed, or fingers doing other things, for a really good show. And other things you can do with your fingers includes clicking that like button. Thank you very much for your ongoing support, you lovely, lovely people. Right, today's map is a Redwood Coast, not by a Nightmare. Sorry, Nightmare Ostrich. It's in capitals. I'm supposed to bellow it, aren't I feel? It looks pretty good, doesn't it? There's your start square. Looks pretty playable from this angle, but wait until you see the terrain heights. Yep, there's not one little patch of flat land on the entire map, apart from kind of this area. Kind of. You've got some resources if you want them, but it's not really a vanilla style play map, so you won't be doing much in the way of resource work, nor fishing if you've got Sunset Harbour, although you can of course use Sunset Harbour with this if you've got it. Off to the workshop. What do we need? Well, no DLC is required today. We'll be using the Laviante 2.0 theme, the Vivid LUT. There are some roads to subscribe to and some rocks and a few trees, but not a huge list. The description does say it all. This is not a map for the casual player. It is for experienced players. And because that is in the description, it allows us to be a little bit more free with the ratings that we give the map. Especially when it comes to gameplay, because we've already, assuming the inexperienced player has actually read that and gone, oh, hang on, maybe I shouldn't be playing this. Because, yeah, if you want to play a big city, a grid style build with a vanilla base game style game, well, it's not going to score much more than a very low 2 for that. But for a vanilla, sorry, not for a vanilla, for a modded style experienced player, you're just looking for good aesthetics and good solid standards to start off with. Things you don't have to fix before you actually start placing your buildings. We've got that today. And bear that in mind when it comes to how I've rated this map for gameplay potential, because some people rated my map to a 3 stars for gameplay when I asked them. You, the viewers, and I still say, oh, we'll be doing a let's play on my map soon enough, and you'll see how easy it is to play my map. And so I want an extra star. It's too late now. It's too late. It's been done. You've upset me. It's fine. Broad shoulders, and I've taken it on the chin. It's all good. It's all fine. 100 hours well spent. Intersection. This is not just the start square. It's not the start square. This is the main intersection that leads to the start square. The only intersection on the map. And you know what? It's pretty cleanly done. The elevated ramp on the bottom side of it's a little bit janky. Also, we've got a little bit of jankiness going on here with detail. But this is as bad as it gets on the entire map. Just a little bit of a gouge there. Maybe a hint of blue mantle from the wrong angle, from the wrong distance. Also, the traffic's almost stop-start. It slows right down for that intersection. So it's a little bit edgy for that. We have a little bit of blue mantle here as well, which is technically the worst thing with the map, if you're talking technical problems. And then we're on to the national roads. Now, the national road is well run. The route is very well done indeed. Nightmare Ostrich has proven themselves not to be the inexperienced player. They've done a very good job of this, and this being a good job does add into the gameplay, because if you're going to play this map as intended, well, you want this road to work smoothly. You don't want it to have too many issues to deal with. It's got no issues. It's got some very nice switchbacks, as we'll follow here. And there's also a little bit of rock working, a little bit of rock detailing across the map. So we've got some cliff profile assets, which you'll see along the coast, but just some standard rock assets popped along here. And when we get to the cliffy areas, that really do look very nice indeed. But yeah, follow the route there. I would say that is the correct route, and it looks very good for it. So yes, when it comes to the ratings at the end, I think I will rate today's map higher than you. I think. I could be wrong. I could be pleasantly surprised by everybody giving this all stars, 5 stars for everything. But yeah, it's clearly not. It's clearly not 5 stars for everything. But I think it's better than you think it is. I think it's better than I think you think it is. There we go. Not putting thoughts into your head there. But yes, we have some beautiful tree placement. We've got a good the selection of trees works for the map. The density of trees works for the map. The tree placement more or less works for the map. Then there are 1 or 2 areas that I would grumble about, and we will have a little look at maybe later on. I'm not going to. There's too many cliffy areas to be stopping and looking at everything, but there's a particular area that I think would just like make my case, and we'll have to roll with the case, you know. It's like one of those cases you take through the airport that has like the wheels on it. You know, we just roll with it. We're following this national road down towards the start square. There's no rail on today's map. You'll be not surprised to hear. If there was going to be rail, it would have been very clunky, or it would have to be a coastal route. The area, it is fictional. It is fictional, but based on the Oregon coast, in case you were wondering. It does say that in the description as well. I should have got around to saying that earlier. So yes, and it has, you know what, this map has a feel of the $2.20 Prez type maps that we've seen. I don't remember which one it was, but it was one very much like this from one of those 2 guys, and I'd have to do my research to find it. There's some rock work here. Let's have a quick glance at some rock work on the cliffs here, and yeah, it's very clean and very tidy, and does exactly what it needs to do without being too pretentious. So yes, very much in the style of those 2 previous aforementioned famous YouTubers, with, I would say, fewer problems on it actually. I would say possibly less playable than the map that I've got in mind, because there is very little space. I mean, you'll be talking about this is a map for a high detail level city, and you'll be working tight and just really making that small town really buzz. That's the only way I can see this working. This in terms of feature areas, this is it. We have got a little lake here, which has been very nicely done. I think we have to give credit for that. So yeah, all shouts for that one. And then as we head down towards the coast, you'll notice that there's not a huge amount of buildable space down on the coast. Again, for the detailer, it might just be enough for a small town build. It would be enough for a small town build, but only for the detailer amongst you. Right, pull back. Be right back after this for the shipping.
Are you baffled by how YouTubers put detailing on their assets? Are you frightened that something called anarchy would break your game? Then you need the BonBonB's Beginner Guide to Anarchy. Click the information button now.
And so back to the shipping routes at Redwood Coast by Nightmare Ostrich. And, well, there's none. And that surprised me. That very much surprised me. Having the option of the shipping route, I think, would have added a little bit to this map. Even if it is only to have some like, fake shipping coming in and out. You know, even if you're only going to be playing it as a detailer, you still... I can understand there being no air route. There's no air route. I can understand that. I mean, even then having an air route would be nice, just to have a plane in the sky. Water flow, again, we're playing it 100% vanilla rules. You're going to struggle. The water is pushing in from the edge of map into here, and so yeah, you're going to have pollution issues, but you're going to be playing the modded game, so that isn't really a huge problem on today's particular map. All told, the map looks very nice, and I think that's the big tick it needs to make in the box here is, with the limited amount of build space, it has to look pretty damn nice, and it does exactly that. There's very few things that you're probably going to want to go and fix, like that little hint of blue mantle back in this the intersection area, but the cliff profiles have been used very nicely to make the coastal areas look proper cliffy, and they do work very well with the theme as well. I feel that that is a match up there made in heaven. And then if we head over here, I want to show you these. How about these cliffs over here by the highway? There are a few spots where we've got trees clinging on like this in a way that is barely believable. They don't have roots, you see, and so it just looks like they're just growing out the side of a cliff face like that. It looks like they're stuck on. So yeah, there are a few spots. I'm not going to look for any more of them. Take my word on it. But it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. In fact, it's nowhere near as bad as I thought it was going to be for trees hanging off of cliff faces. So I've got to give credit for that. Doing a full loop around this side just to show you where you won't be building. I'd like to have seen some rivers or streams. I can understand why there aren't any, but I'd like to have seen one or two, with maybe one on either side of the start square somewhere, just for interest. And in the start square we have got a triple asset of the day. It's an asset pack. It's a Japanese high-rise apartment by Nob5056000. They're a good creator. We haven't seen much from them for a little while now, but these apartment packs, you subscribe once and you get all three of them, and they are really very nice. I can see these working actually on this map. And it also gives you an idea about, there is actually building space down here. It is tight. It is very, very tight. But looking at these here, they're not small buildings and they don't look cramped. So I think credit. I think this map could run, you know. Factoids, because factoids. Oh, what have we got? I can't read it. I can't read it. Somebody put the light on. I can't read it. The rare metal gallium will melt if you hold it in your hand for any length of time. Gallium. So don't be using gallium for your next structural bridge. It's not a good plan. Stick with steel. Or carbon fibre or something. Japanese high-rise apartment by Nob5056000. They're really good. Subscribe to them. Off you go. Link is in the description, as is the link to the map, as is always. Make sure you go. Make sure you like them up when you go. Always, once you subscribe to something, like it up, and if it turns out to be broken or not good, when you unsubscribe to it, remove the like and maybe give it a thumbs down if it's that bad. But always like. When you subscribe, click like. Also, while you're here, head on over to the voting page. This is a 1-star map. Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. As previously discussed, we use it for the Viewer's Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. I think it's got a chance, you know, despite it being a bit limited on buildable space. Aesthetically, though, for me, do you know what? I think this ticks the box. I don't think we're pushing for 5 stars, but I don't think we're anywhere near 3 either. It's striking, it's memorable, and it's clean and crisp and well done. I'm going to go right down the middle 4s. Detailing. We've got that splash of blue mantle, and we've got 1 or 2 trees hanging onto the edge of things. Other than that, I think it's fairly good. I think I've got to go for a high 3. I think the blue mantle disqualifies it from that 4th star, really, especially as it's like the 1 key intersection. So it's not a 1 key intersection, the 1 key in, yeah, high 3. Gameplay potential, for what it is, actually does what it needs to do. I'm going down the middle 3 stars, and that is going to surprise you. Redwood Coast by Nightmare Ostrich. Right, let's verify this. If you're playing this as a standard vanilla base gameplay, this is like a low 2 stars, maybe even a 1-star map. Okay? If you're playing this as a detailer, from how it is intended to be played, that is, for me, I'd still like to see more buildable space, and I'd like to see a shipping route. There is more that can be done to hit 4 stars. That's the long and short of it. Oh, speaking of the long and short of it, we're right at the end of the show. What a short show. Use the word of the day in the comments to prove you're part of the 20 and out elite, and I'll be back tomorrow with another map in the What Map series. Thanks for watching.